did anyone actually realize what this poll was for? Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to show off Ren. Well, her 3 unit passes are Equipment CT Speed. This unlocks at 110, Magic Resist, and Mages of the Clock Tower. This is what gives you the passive damage buff every time you burn an enemy, all the way up to 300% damage. We have a Archgening skill, which is good for her, but it's also going to be good for any other fire ally you're going to be having on the team. Her art is just a burn plus a fire resist down. Keep in mind that this art is also the damage buffing art as well, since if you burn with this art, this is what allows you to get the passive damage buff to everyone. The true art is you increase the damage to enemies by 70% and reduce the enemy's burn resist by 50%. And for the super art, which is her main thing, this is going to be the 150% magic damage buff on top of the 100% magic res down. As for her equip slots, we have a 5-star support, 5-star magic, and 4-star heal. And what you're going to be looking at in terms of best in slot, 5-star support, I'm going to be opting in for her true weapon in most situations, especially in sustained content. If you don't have that, any other AoE Archgen item will be fine, or any other single target Archgen item would do as well. If you're nuking in the 5-star support slot, I would be going with Axis or Type 0. For 5-star magic, we're going to be looking at items that are going to be giving us art gauge and sustained comps, or even in nuke comps, I would say, since we don't have a burst Archgen in the kit anywhere like the skill or anything. So that means that we're opting in for stuff like Exceed Zex, Victor's cat suit, or even the new Ren outfit that came out. 4-star heal is very up to you, but I would say going with Keratos is usually good in most situations. Now for her crest slots, what am I going to be recommending on this character? Okay, so Ren is a character that is a damage-oriented character. She is a support character, right? So she kind of has some hand-to-hand stuff. Her slots aren't too bad, so I would say that first and foremost, I would personally be going with some type of art gauge crest, since this character, in my mind, you really want to get into the super art as fast as possible, especially in nuking situations. So having that initial art gauge start is going to massively help her, since she doesn't have that in her kit. There's nothing in her kit that gives her burst Archgen. After art gauge up, I would say attack up if you want her to hit harder. You'd also opt in for equipment CT, because this will benefit her more in sustained comps than anything else. Or if you really want to just go super damage focused, you could also go like Promise of Funeral God to increase her arts damage even more. Now we are on to the animations. We have her attack skill here, it's just a swipe. We have her skill here where she jumps in the air, does a nice little attack. We have her art where Lovia actually comes in, and then you see them both pretty much do the skill again, but now, you know, they're together. We have the true art, which throws out all the jewels in front of her, and then she shoots the beam. And then the super art is her and Livia transforming into their cat girl counterpart and then shooting huge beams and going crazy like that. Now, it's not like the wildest animation ever, but I actually like it. You know, it's different. It transforms. They actually, you know, do something. They shoot the beams and then they go back to normal and she disappears. In terms of animations alone, like just like style wise and all that, I would say she's about like a 6. I like the transformation the most in the super art, but yeah, a lot of her animations aren't like, oh my god, I'm blown away, right? All right, now it's time to actually use Ren. As you see, we got the Shaltir, the Ren, the Haruto, and the Mako. The team building process for this is very simple. Really, I just wanted to go with some type of magic damage character. I didn't really care if all my characters were magic or if I only had one magic character. I just wanted to make sure that I had somebody that would be able to really utilize Ren's super art buff, and my god, does she really take advantage of it. Like, she does some damage to this boss. The other 2 characters that we have is, of course, our 2 support characters, Haruto and Mako, and these guys are really needed. I don't necessarily mean like Mako and Haruto are needed for her to work. What I mean is you need 2 Archgeners that are able to support the team. That's what I mean. Those guys are needed, just like in every comp. So in sustain, she's relatively simple to play. As you see in the background, what I did in this fight, because this is a very long fight, and I know that I'm going to be in it for a very long time, I opted in to go with the art and stack the art as quick as possible. After I got this fully stacked, I started using the true art, then I would use the super art, and after this, I didn't know what to do, because both of these things last quite a long time. The super art lasts for 40 seconds and the true art lasts for 25 seconds. So really, you're just going to be going like super art into true art, super art into true art, and just keep that rotation going so you always have the uptime on your buffs. That's pretty much it in terms of how you play in a sustain comp. And what she's doing is extremely strong. The constant magic resist down, the damage buffs, the damage res down, is so potent, and it just allows any character, whether that be Shaltir or whatever magic damage dealer you're using. You could even be using this with Ainz, for an example, and you are still dealing insane amounts of damage to whatever you're fighting, which is one of the reasons why I was so excited for this character when I first saw her, because her buffs and her debuffs are so potent, man. They're so strong. As you see, Shaltir with almost 400 million damage. Now, when it comes to nuking with this character, there's a few things that you need to keep in mind. You can use her as the main nuker, but I don't really recommend it. I really recommend that you use some other type of damage dealer that is going to be a lot better at being the main nuker. As you see in the gameplay in the background, I used Ilya against Radak, and I actually go in with the super art with Rin, and then I pop off with everybody else, and then I use the super art with Ilya. And you see here, I'm trying to wait a little bit, and what I'm waiting for is a possibility for the magic resist to actually hit before Ilya uses her super art. But here's the thing that I'm going to tell you about nuking with Rin. Don't do this, just instantly pop off with everybody, even if Rin doesn't get to hit with the magic resist down, because the 150% magic damage up is more than likely going to be enough to blow up whatever's in front of you. And really, the remaining hits from Rin, to me, seems a lot better as being like a cleanup type of thing. Of course, some people may disagree with me on that, which is fine, but after using this character, man, if you try to wait for this super art, it takes 6 seconds. 6 whole seconds for this thing to go off. So yeah, even though I have some of my gripes with her, all in all, I really enjoy this character. I've used her quite a bit, as you see from the amount of clears. If this isn't completely obvious yet, I did re-record this part and wanted to add a lot more thoughts to it because I've actually been using the character a lot more than my original video that I recorded here. And yeah, these two girls really pop off. They're just going to get even stronger later on down the line, especially when characters like Summer Iris come out, which is going to be a perfect partner for Rin. So yeah, as far as it stands right now, Rin, kind of good. Just a little bit good. It's just unfortunate she is another unit that is cursed with slow animation. Still hoping one day we get a Sonic collab or something, so where you get a character that buffs up animation speed. Even though that would probably break the game, but let's be honest, the game's already broken as is. So would it really hurt if we got a character that buffed up action speed just a little bit to help these other characters out, you know what I mean? Either way, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you all for coming out, man. It's been your boy P. Tell me down below what you guys think about Rin. You guys think she's actually good? You guys think she's kind of sleeper? Let me know all that stuff down there. You already heard my opinion, so I'd love to hear yours. Also, if you enjoyed this video, highly recommend you check out either one of the videos popping on the screen right now. Great content. Guarantee you love them. Oh, one more thing before you leave. Don't forget to drink water.